Ladies and gents, what's good? And welcome back to Global Pulse News. Grab your chai, settle in, because today we're diving into a story that's got shock, whistleblowing, and a whole lot of how on earth did they think this would stay hidden energy. We're talking about a moment in Tanzania when a military officer went live on camera and called out the powers that be, and the entire scene went sideways in real time. It's bold, it's messy, and yes, it's got implications for the entire region. So stick around, because we're unpacking 10 hard-hitting facts you need to know, each one with the kind of context that separates the chatter from the real story. Let's get rolling. Picture this: a Saturday afternoon in Tanzania, markets humming, children chasing footballs, bodabodas weaving through traffic, normal everyday stuff. Then boom! A uniformed man, on his smartphone, goes live. That man, Captain John Charles Tesha, name used illustratively. Calm voice, direct stare, and he begins. Your government is stealing from you. If we don't stop them now, this nation will collapse. Suddenly folks are pausing rice, children are staring, drivers are glancing at phones, because the government they trusted just got called out midstream. The magnitude here is everyone with a smartphone became a witness, and when a uniformed officer turns his camera on his own regime, trust me, that's a red flag flying over the palace. In true Malawian slang, him just switched from yes sir to hold my beer mode. And if you think that initial moment was enough to rock things, wait until you hear what happened just 2 days later. That one had the government scrambling. 2 days after that live broadcast, Captain Tesha vanished. No formal arrest, no badge taking, no court order, just disappeared. For many Tanzanians, that silence was louder than any explosion. It told the same story. You speak, you vanish. It flipped the script. The man who dared to call out the system becomes the system's nightmare. And guess what? The disappearance elevated him from an officer to a symbol. Suddenly, people were whispering his name, painting graffiti, sharing memes. The soldier who spoke truth to power. And the regime, they didn't fire a salvo, they sent in the fog. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens began to reconsider. If they can make a captain disappear, what hope do any of us have? In Malawi lingo, we'd say, that nawe who could dance so you stand still. Now hold tight, because the female dictator label isn't just clickbait. It's a title that came with its own baggage, and we're about to unpack it. Enter Samia Suluhu Hassan, Tanzania's first female president. At first glance, peace lover, reformer, Africa's next hope. The world applauded. But behind that friendly smile, a machine strengthening itself, quietly, confidently. Reports show that opposition parties were disqualified, critics were harassed, and promises of open democracy began to sound like radio static in the background. Observers say her initial reformist brand faded into something more familiar. Soft glove, steel fist. The label female dictator started floating, not because someone slapped it on her lightly, because the facts made it hard to ignore. In our Malawi lingo, she came in as sweet tea, but slowly started tasting like strong chichenje pepper. And speaking of machine, the party behind her has been doing the heavy lifting and controlling the strings.
Behind the presidency stands the mighty Chama cha Mapinduzi, the ruling party in Tanzania since independence. Founded way back under Julius Nyerere, once envisioned as unity builder and socialist pioneer, now the transformation reads like a cautionary tale, from liberator to monopoly. CCM doesn't just win elections, it manages them. It doesn't compete, it orchestrates. And when someone like Captain Tesha names and shames the party, the reaction is swift and silent. In Malawian slang, you don't poke the hippo while it's sleeping in the river. But he did. And the hippo stared. The party machine rolls out, checks get cashed, votes get counted, or rather pre-counted. Citizens start to feel democracy isn't broken, it's been borrowed. Now, corruption doesn't happen in shadows only. Sometimes it's so loud you can hear the ATM machine churning in the background. Tesha's live broadcast named names, among them billionaires like Rostam Aziz, illustrative who allegedly turned Tanzania into their personal ATM. From energy deals under the table, mining contracts last minute awarded, political donations disguised as studies, this wasn't your average small-time graft. This was platinum tier. Citizens began tallying. While their roads crumbled, the suits got built. While school books were missing, licenses were issued. In our Malawi twist, when the chicken stopped crowing, the fox has moved in. And the chilling thing is, when fear becomes the norm, speaking up becomes the outlier. And that's exactly when a soldier going live becomes a seismic event. But here's the wild part. The people didn't crack, they adapted. They didn't riot necessarily, they plugged in.
After Tesha's disappearance and the growing hush, something shifted. People didn't grab pitchforks, they grabbed smartphones. They recorded, they posted, they exposed. An opposition leader's arrest was caught live. The people refused to be silent. They turned their data bundles into protest tools. For them, streaming became the new street. In Malawi, we say, if you can't shout at the village meeting, you shout on Facebook Live. And in Tanzania, that strategy worked. The heavy-handed government found itself playing defense in the social media arena. The message, you might silence the street, but you can't silence the screen. And in the middle of that digital revolt stands a figure, the invisible captain who became legend. Graffiti began popping up across Dar es Salaam. Ujasiri si uasi. Courage is not rebellion. The man behind it? Tesha. Suddenly he's not just a soldier, he's a symbol. Youth started calling him the invisible captain. Because he spoke out, then vanished, and yet his voice kept echoing. In neighborhoods, in lanes, in WhatsApp groups, he became folklore. In Malawi, we say, when the elder stops talking but the children keep whispering his name, the village knows something. He may not be physically present, but his presence is felt. The government tries to hush him, but it's too late. Once the legend is born, shutting him down becomes harder than switching off the power grid. And that sets the stage for the grand finale, the election that wasn't exactly surprising. October 2025 rolls around, another election. Guess who wins? The ruling party. Winner declared, peace restored. International observers, well organized. Citizens, well predicted. But here's the kicker. This time around, things felt different. The illusion of democracy cracked. People knew the script. They saw the behind the scenes. They knew the cameras, the ballots, the silence. The invisible captain's message that sunlight kills shadows took root. And while ballots were counted and winners declared, the power of the people started being measured in something other than votes: awareness. In Malawi, you can fool the man behind the counter once, but you can't fool the man with the phone forever. Change may not be immediate, but the awakening has begun. So there you have it. 10 bold facts from Tanzania that are shaking more than one country's foundations. Now it's your turn. What do you make of all this? A courageous soldier? A regime's nightmare? A continent's reckoning? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you believe truth should never be silenced, and subscribe to Global Pulse News for more raw, unfiltered stories just like this. And hey, while you're at it, don't forget to check out our sister channels for kids' entertainment and learning, Sparkling Kids and RaymaFatima. Let's grow together, Bekiri your voice as a family. Show them some love. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's build this together. Until next time, stay sharp, stay aware, and keep your voice loud.